Good day, everyone. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I am making a card based on this past Friday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 259. Now, if you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, I will have a link in the description below. Just click on the More, and it will take you to a link to this past Friday's episode. It's a wonderful show on Friday nights on YouTube. They spin a wheel and tell you what kind of project you need to make. So for today, we needed to make a project. The card has to have 2 folds. You have to use jelly bean colors with an element of math thrown in there. And you have to use markers. All right. So 3 out of 4 of those aren't too bad. It's the math part that was a little challenging, but I have it figured out, I think. All right. So I'm going to make a red card today because my jelly bean colors that I have chosen are that wonderful cherry red and my favorite black jelly beans and also my coconut jelly beans. All right, so my card base is 10 inches by 7 inches. Now I scored it at the usual 5-inch mark, but I also scored it at the 2.5-inch mark so that it makes a Z fold. Now for this, I have a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. This is going to go on the inside of the card. And then I have a piece, my Kool-Aid was about to fall over. I have a piece that is 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. And that is going to go on this inside flap of the card. Then I have a wide selection for the front. Now I have this etched die, and I don't know what company this is from. It gives this really lacy edged finish. This measures, oh my goodness, pardon me. It measures 4 1/4 by 5.5. Pardon me very much. And then for the back of this, because this is thin, and I'm going to put this on my front flap, I cut a piece of white that is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And I'm just going to glue that right to the back. And I see a little piece that I didn't get out of my die. So let me just grab my scissors. That's just going to help stir this up a little bit. You could cut this out of several layers, but gluing all those little edges together would be a little challenging. So I just cut a piece to put on the back. And then I have a piece the same size in black. This is, again, 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And that's going to fit nicely just inside my little box. And I've already cut the word love out of that. And for that, I used GinaK's, this is the Love and Shadow die, and I just used the Love die. And then I have a piece of white. This measures 3 1/4. I don't remember. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So 3 1/2 across, 4 3/4 down, and that will give me a nice little shadow layer. So I have all 3 of my colors showing: my cherry, my black licorice jelly beans, and my coconut jelly beans. All right. Let me get started. I want to stamp on the inside of this card. So I need to put my stamp somewhere in here, right in the middle. Don't normally do this, but I want to add a saying to this. Okay. Now I have several sentiments here from Practical Publishing. And I love this 2 souls with but a single heart, 2 thoughts that beat as one by John Keats. And I want to put that right in the middle. It kind of has a little bit of math in it because it mentions numbers, but this is not my math component per se. Get that cat hair off there. All right. I think if I put that on there, yes, that should be covered up by this. I'm going to move it over just a hair, just in case. And that still gives you plenty of room to write your own sentiment. And I'm just going to stamp that with my VersaFine Clear Nocturne. Perfect. I did not clean my tidy towel. I have a wet wipe. I'm just going to use that. I did not wet my tidy towel today. All right. That I'm just going to set aside. I'm done with that for now. Actually, I can just glue that right on the card. Let's get that done. And then I can also glue down this inside flap. You can put your wording on here if you want to. This will not show on the outside of the card at all. You could stamp this, stencil it, do all sorts of fun things with it if you wanted to. All right. Now, before I glue everything together on here, I am going to stamp on my piece that goes on the inside. Actually, I can glue all this together. I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. You could even stamp on this, but most of this will not be shown on the inside flap. It's just gonna, you'll just see a little bit, maybe a quarter. And then I will glue down my black layer. This should be a fairly straightforward and quick and easy card today, I'm hoping. Just kind of get that centered as best I can, and I'll set that aside. Now on here I am going to stamp, but I'm going to do some embossing. Now I've selected to use, let's get that glue back on there, GinaK's peony spray. And I want to put that towards the top. I'm going to move that to the middle. Okay. Now I have not used this stamp, so I need to condition it. Just rub your finger across it. That gets the factory coating off. I am going to use a Versamark. This is a watermark stamp pad. It's like glue. And I'm going to stamp that down. And I'm going to do it one more time just to be safe. And it looks like it needs more in the middle. Maybe it just didn't have enough pressure. That looks good. Now I'll just clean that off real quick. Set this aside. Get a piece of scrap paper. Now I don't have an anti-static pad, so I'm just winging it. That is on my shopping list for when I go to a craft scrapbooking expo at the end of April. I have Wow embossing powder. This is primary ebony superfine. Now I'm going to use a brush just to clear it off where I don't want it to be. This is where an anti-static powder tool works fantastic. Now I could color this in with markers, but I'm just going with my black, white, and red today. A little bit in here. All right. A little bit more right here. Now, if anybody is going to, it's Adventures in Stamping. It's at the last weekend in April in Akron, Ohio. And my sister-in-law and I are going, I believe, I want to say this is our 10th or 11th year going. It's wonderful. We did miss a year when everything was shut down. But they're back now. All right. Now, I've got it all over my silicone mat here, so I'm just going to wipe it up. Okay, now I'm going to use my Derice heat tool. It's going to be a little loud. A little bit on the front, and then I'm going to go to the back. And once this starts going and everything turns shiny, it's just an amazing transformation. And I have found just doing it from the back tends to flatten out your paper better. Okay. All right. Now I need to stamp on this. I have more embossing powder up here. Let me get another wet wipe. This is where my Love Plus 2 is coming in. Another stamp from Practical Publishing. It says Love times 2. I already have the word love, so I'm going to cut my stamp apart. Yeah, cringe, but it's not a stamp that I would normally use, so I don't feel bad about cutting it. I'm just going to cut off the word love and keep the times 2. Then put that down here. And then I want the times 2 to be right there in that corner. So let me get my stamping platform because I'm going to stamp this with regular ink now. Oh, don't want the Versamark. You could use a Versamark. I could also emboss that. And I'll do one more. Wait, that's off there. Okay. Now you see that doesn't fill that in all the way. So this is where one of the markers is coming in play. I'm going to use a Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen, and I'm just going to fill it in black. I want it to be solid black. I could have done this in red, but I want to have some red rhinestone accents. All right, so I'm going to put this on here. And try and get that as centered on that black background as best as possible. I'm just going to use my stamp block. Just puts a little pressure on the edges, gets that glue to the edges, and allows it to stick better. And where did I put love? Hello. Oh, there you are. And I want to glue that down. I'm just going to use my silicone mat to glue on. Can do this on my glass mat also. Now you can also put the glue on your finger and just run it across the back of these delicate pieces like this. Okay. Now that is going to go right on the front here. And I only need to glue down about not quite half of this. Now you could have also put a white strip on this side, but I liked the contrast of the red and the white on the front of the card. I'm just going to put my acrylic block right down on there and get some rhinestones that I'm going to use another marker on to color. I believe R865 Geranium will make a pretty red. Yes, it does. So I'm going to color about, let's color 5. You can color your rhinestones and other things with alcohol ink markers. And then if you, as you see, I've got several down here in a variety of colors. And those are the red ones I just colored. If you don't like any of the colors or you run out of ones, I always save them because I might run across a card that I can use that on. If not, just take a little rubbing alcohol and it'll come right off. And you can color again. Okay. I'm thinking I want to put some down here on the bottom. Let's see. I don't have my bent tweezers today, so I'll use my flat tweezers. Because I need to get, there's my glue. I'm going to put 3 down here. 1, 2, 3. I know 3 are going there. Okay. And then I have some, I could have used these red hearts, but I wanted to color my own. I think I want to use some of the crystal hearts to put up in here. And they're going to need some glue. I'm going to put one there. One here. And I'm going to put one here. That's going to make an even number, but my mind goes to even numbers. Now I want one of the larger hearts over here, I think. And then a medium heart. And then a tiny heart. Okay, that's my card for the challenge. Let me go over the parameters again and see if I've met all the requirements. Card with 2 folds. Yep, I have fold 1 and fold 2. Jelly bean colors, I went with my cherry red, my coconut, and my black anise jelly beans. Element math, love, times 2. Plus I also have the same 2 souls with but a single heart, 2 hearts that beat as 1. So that's some sort of subtraction or abduction or adduction to make a lesser number. And you have to have markers. I used the black marker, just like a Sharpie marker, to color in that 2. And then I used the red alcohol ink markers to color in my rhinestones. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And please check out Craft Roulette. You will love it. Thanks for watching.